Good afternoon, sports fans. September is here, and that means the start of the fall sports season. The NFL begins Thursday night. I won't ask you just yet your Super Bowl predictions, but give us a couple thoughts on what teams you're looking forward to watching.
Well, of course now. I am a New England fan. I got to go with Brady and Belichick. But, there's a big but. He's over 40, Brady. Just don't know. You know when you get over 40, over 35 in football or any other sport, the thing that you lose is your consistency. So can they repeat? I'm saying they're not going to repeat. And there's two teams I'm really worried about. Jacksonville Jaguars are Bortles at quarterback. I don't know if that's Jacksonville or Saxonville. And how about Kansas City Chiefs? Andy Reid, great coach, great team, new quarterback.
Been knocking on the door for a number of years. Reid has Philadelphia and then Kansas City.
That's right. Sorry for the interruption back there, Jace, but you're right. Been a great been a great head coach. Patrick Mahomes, a quarterback, new face in town, new gunslinger, great quarterback, looked good in preseason. Watch out for the Chiefs.
And the NFC?
NFC, it's kind of wide open. I like the Vikings right off the bat. But what about the trade on the weekend?
Big trade. Khalil Mack goes from the LA Raiders to the Chicago Bears.
You know what? When I sit back and look at it, the more I look at it, and I looked at the schedule this morning, the Bears have an easy schedule starting out. 5 of their first 6 games are winnable, including at home against, the team coming from the south, coming north. Miami, the Fish, Dolphins are rotten on the road, especially coming north. And I'll tell you what, the Bears could be 5-1 of the first 6. The Bears are making the playoffs. They get any kind of quarterback play, be careful.
Young quarterback there, too.
You never know.
Just drafted second overall last year, but, it's a young man's game in a lot of ways nowadays.
That's right.
Get him in and see what he's made of, right?
Well, you're exactly right. You got the defending champion Eagles, of course,
who beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Well, that's right. And then there's a couple other teams in there. I love Green Bay, but Green Bay has got. They got Aaron Rodgers, and what else have they got? Do those guys in Green Bay ever wake up? Do they sort of take a look around? You see what happened to Andrew Luck in Indianapolis? Great quarterback. What happened? Oh, the man should have let him get beat up every Sunday till finally he get knocked out. Is out the whole year and never ruined his career. He's back healthy now. So Green Bay, wake up and get some protection from Rodgers.
Got to protect the superstars.
That's
right?
what you got to do. It's much the same in hockey. You don't see guys running Crosby anymore. They got a little muscle over there. That's what you got to do.
I think we'll have a little bit of fun with the NFL over the next few weeks, but we should talk about the big baseball trade Friday. Maybe not a blockbuster by any means at this point with the Toronto Blue Jays where they're at, but they shipped Josh Donaldson, the bringer of rain, as they say, to Cleveland. What do you think of the deal?
I was actually not surprised at the deal because the writing is on the wall. They got Delgado down in the minor leagues. He's playing third base. Guerrero, I'm sorry.
Vladdy's son.
Yeah, Vladdy's son. Former great Expo player. Yes, so you got Vladdy's son playing third base. He's a potential third baseman. You got 2 or 3 Cubans that are there that are terrific. Diaz is playing shortstop now. The other kid that's playing second. They're terrific, and they got Solarte that started off in that flash, and they got the kid playing left field that can hit. Now I think he needs the only trouble with him. He needs a helmet in the outfield. He's going to get hurt out there with fly balls might hit him in the head, but he can hit.
Hernandez.
I'll tell you what, Toronto's got a lot of good young players, so I was not really totally surprised at the deal. Not really totally surprised. Listen, you looked at the roster last year. I looked at the roster last year, and I said, this team, Blue Jays, are going nowhere. I said it here. I wrote it. I said before, the 3 worst managers in baseball for the last 5 years, who are they? Farrell and Boston to get rid of him, the Red Sox in first place. The other 2, Showalter at Baltimore and Gibby. And where are they? Last and second, last in the East. So anybody looked at the schedule last year and seen this spring and seen the Blue Jays, they were going nowhere. Nowhere. They got nothing. They're in a rebuild right now. That's why the trade was not a surprise to me.
Probably should have made the move a year earlier, and the return would have been bigger. But what do they say about hindsight? And obviously the management trying to sort of play both sides of it. If they could stay healthy, Stroman and Sanchez haven't had the last 2 years, haven't been really what they anticipated they would have been. If those guys are not top of the front of the rotation starters, they're not going to go anywhere.
That's it, and that's what happened. What's his name last night? Estrada? He was terrible. Or Stroman was last night, but Estrada's been no good at all either. And Sanchez, those three were counted on to win maybe 50 games among them, 20, 15, and 15, whatever it was. I doubt if they got 10. Yeah. So they're terrible. Their pitching staff's no good. But they got a lot of good young players, especially good young potential third baseman, and that's what Donaldson played. But I'll tell you what, it's a great trade for Cleveland. This guy, Donaldson, could turn around and be the difference maker. Cleveland can win the American League. They can represent the American League in the World Series. Can happen.
And they've been there before, you know.
That's right.
This team's got some experience, and they've got lots of great players over there. And you look at Lindor and Jose Ramirez, the third baseman, and the lineup at the rotation strong on the back end of the bullpen.
Oh, yeah. Cleveland to me is the inside track on the American League. My opinion.
Just a matter of Donaldson getting, if he can get 15, 20 games under his belt, and maybe start hitting his stride a bit, and they use him accordingly. Maybe he's not a full-time player, but if you use him every other day early on and build him up some innings. And
tell you what, he's a tremendous third baseman, a tremendous defender when he's brings his A game, when he's healthy. And I can tell you, when anybody in Toronto, really, except for the Toronto diehard fans, that think this team this year was going to beat anybody would have expectations down the road saying, you know what, Donaldson may be expendable. We got all these kids, a young fella down in the minor league, for Vladdy's young fella, Guerrero at third base, and they got all 3 or 4 really good young kids in the middle of the infield. So, no big surprise. Toronto fans shouldn't be surprised. That would have been a good deal. But it means you have to have a general manager with a little vision and foresight. So, and those two guys have got, to get rid of...
Anthopoulos.
Yeah. Yep. Get rid of Alex, AA. And who have they got? Shapiro and, what's the other
Atkins.
guy? Yeah, both brutal, both of them.
Yeah. Well,
anyway, we'll wait and see how much more damage they can do.
They're also the ones that traded away Donaldson and traded away Happ and are trying to restock the system. The system's probably never been as healthy as it is right now. And, everyone loves Anthopoulos, and, I appreciate everything he did to bring in the talent to win those 2 rounds of the playoffs a couple years ago. But it also saddled the team with paying $20 million for Russ Martin right now and $20 million for Torrey Tulowitzki right now. And it's hard to compete when you're spending a quarter of your salary on those 2 players.
I'm glad you brought it up. Why are the Blue Jays playing Russell Martin at third base? I don't care what you're paying him. You got all kinds of kids in the minors. You got all kinds of kids sitting in that dugout. And you're playing Russell Martin. Put him at the end of the bench. He's all done. He's a third-rate catcher now. Can't hit. Forget about him. Why are you wasting games playing him at third base? Play one of your kids and find out what they can do.
Offensively, I don't disagree, but he's played a lot better at third base than I thought he was going to.
Yes, that's right. That's right. The only trouble is when I have a third baseman, I want him to have a little muscle. He be able to hit a little bit.
A little pop, eh?
Yeah, a little pop. What's Russell hitting? I'm not paying him $12 million or whatever it is, about $220. If he's hitting $220.
Ooh, he's not.
Well, there you go. There you go. I had to get that off my shoulders. It's bugging me.
The AUS ACAA soccer rugby seasons all start this weekend, and the Charlottetown Islanders, Summerside Western Capitals, Charlottetown Pride, Kensington Wild, the major midget teams, they're all on the ice now. What do you think about this time of the year when you get so much activity going on?
What do I think of it? Easy for me to solve. I just don't go to any hockey. When it's 30 degrees out and 25 degrees out and sunny, I'll go watch rugby, maybe soccer, baseball, playoffs around Kings County. Why would I worry about hockey this time of the season? I couldn't care less about hockey. Listen, if the Vegas Golden Knights were playing down here at the Bell Center, or whatever it is down here at the Eastlink Center, I still wouldn't be there. Too early in the year for me.
But you'll be there once this weather cools off.
Once we get going. But what about the rugby and PEI? Here's that little place right across the street from here, Lloyd. Hunter's Ale House Mudman. They're in first place in the Nova Scotia Senior League, the best rugby in Atlantic Canada. They're in first place. And the ladies team, they're unbeaten. And they already won a championship.
And the Mudmen's Division 1 and Division 2 teams are leading the standings.
You got to look at the schedule. Senior high school rugby and PEI is what a farm system for the senior rugby and PEI. Kelly, you got to love it. Love to see the Island. Don't you love to see the Island beating the mainland and thumping those teams from over Halifax? You're an Islander now, by the way. And listen, somebody asked me the other day, where are you from? I said, listen, there's 2 ways to be an Islander. You can be born an Islander or you're an Islander by choice. And you're an Islander by choice, and we love you.
Well, thank you, Freddie. That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me. And I'm almost speechless. That's all we have for this week. Please join us next week.